out there in the internet lands. How are you today? You will be seeing this on Thursday, but we are actually recording this on Monday, the 11th. I hope this is going to be okay. Just experienced a whole bunch of technical difficulties. If any of you have been paying attention over the last few weeks, been having technical difficulties galore with my video being all blurry and all this kind of stuff. So I've actually hardwired my computer to the internet this week, and we will see if that resolves anything. I was on the phone with the internet company today for almost an hour trying to resolve some things. So hopefully all will be well. All will be well. The funny thing about it is that everybody else has looked wonderful and amazing on their video ends. I'm just the one who looks like a big glob of pixels. So yay, pixel me. But we don't find out about that until after, just like we won't find out if there's any audio issues until after. And so welcome to the joy of producing this kind of work. Yay. But anyway, I digress. So I'm very excited. Today, we, after some very, very, very busy weeks, I was finally able to get into this room, the wonderful and amazing and extremely handsome Patrick Schmitz of Schmitz and Giggles, and we are going to talk to him about their upcoming 6th iteration of Shmish Shmosh, which should be easier to say than you would think but it's my mouth. We will just get right into it and welcome a Mr. Patrick Schmitz into the room. How are you, good sir?
I'm great. How are you, Jaimelyn?
I am hanging in there. It's been a rough week for some of us, but we will continue to march on. We will continue to make art. We will continue to make people laugh, which is what you, my good friend, were built for. Yes?
Yeah, I try. Even when I try the serious stuff, sometimes I get the laugh. So I don't. Yeah, it's kind of a curse. But it's okay. I'm happy with my curse.
Oh, people just have gotten to know you so much that you're trying to do serious work, and they're like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, matter of fact, I remember my first show I did where it was a drama, and I could hear my friends laughing the whole time because they just couldn't take me seriously. I was like, all right, I get it.
Well, the description of this show, what did you say? You seriously, I can't remember what you said. Seriously funny, something.
Yeah, that is the balance of our well-balanced comedy show. We have some silly scenes, and then we have some seriously silly scenes.
Seriously silly scenes.
That came from the brilliant mind of Beth Lewinsky, who is the other half of Schmitz and Giggles. She's the in Giggles.
Oh,
yeah.
Beth is just a wonderfully talented human being. I very much appreciate the Lewinsky vibes and humor whenever I'm around the Schmitz and Giggles. Yeah. Well, let's talk about just real briefly here, or not briefly. Can you, for those in the internet lands who do not know of the Schmitz and Giggles, can you talk about your little company that you have there?
Yeah. We are going on being 6 years now. So I've been doing stuff for good God, 20 plus years.
Forever.
But Schmitz and Giggles became an LLC in 2019.
Right on.
So we're going into 6 years here. It's been fun. It started out as no pun intended as shits and giggles kind of thing, and then it turned into we had a big opportunity to do a show at Vogel Hall, and that's kind of when we decided, well, maybe we should take this to the next level and make it an LLC. So we did the paperwork and became a legitimate company, and we've been doing probably 6 to 10 shows a year. A lot of them are collaboration shows. Sketch 20, one of them. brings together 60 to 80 people twice a year.
Yeah.
Then we also do that in Florida. So that's fun. We get to do Sketch 22 in Florida once a year. So it's kind of fun that it's branching out a little bit that way too. So
I think your company name is one of my favorite company names of all time. It's just, I mean, it's such a given considering your last name, but at the same time, it's great that you actually made it a thing. Because who doesn't like to say Schmitz and Giggles?
Yeah.
So you're in your 6th season then? Is that what it is, or are you in your 7th season, or where are you at?
I mean, again, 6th season as a company, but we've been putting on shows for a good 20 years now. I was in a sketch comedy group way back in the day. That wasn't technically Schmitz and Giggles, but I mean, I've been putting stuff up for a while. 2008 is when Sketch 22 started. 2004 is when I was in that sketch group. So yeah, and it's been fun. And this Shmish Shmosh is something that has been around for 10 months now, and we've done 6 shows. This will be our 6th show on Friday, November 15th. So
yay.
Kind of a fun thing. Josh Decker's the other half of Shmish Shmosh, and he's been doing improv for such a long time, as have I, and the two of us. We've pretty good chemistry together. So we've kind of found out our technique of how we both improvise is we both try to get to a very serious level within our scene work. And then it becomes a race between the two of us of who's going to ruin this first, who's going to find the weird and, kind of run with the weird first. So it's very fun working with him. In the show format, we just get a word from the audience, and then we just go and we just do multiple scenes for about 25 minutes. We're on stage, and it does not feel like 25 minutes. So when the lights go down, I'm like, dang, holy cow, that was such a blast. He's just he's a fun guy to work with. And we had quite a mishap at our last show. He ripped his pants at the very top of the show. And
at the top of the show.
Oh yeah, we got our suggestion. We started our first scene, and I heard from the side, I hear the ripping of the pants, and he just goes, "Well, I just ripped my pants, and this is not part of a scene. And the only way to attack this is to just show the audience, announce it, and move on."
Yeah, and just move on with life. Come on, It's improv.
So we had to, it's like, well, how are we going to top that? We got 25 minutes now of trying to top ripped pants. But we did it. It was fun. And this show, we will be having our opener will be Mike Kauth and Beth Lewinsky opening their debut of their first show together. Just the two of them with a special guest. Which is kind of fun. It's a friend of ours from LA who's going to be in town, and he is very, very funny and talented. He's been in a lot of stuff out there. I mean, let's see. He's been on The Conners. He did voicing for Monster University. He's been Brooklyn Nine. What's the show?
Isn't it just Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Is it? Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought.
Young Sheldon, he's just been on a lot of shows. He's very involved with the improv scene over there, and the nicest guy too. And he's when he comes into town, he's one of those guys who does not want to talk of like brag or name drop. And so we always got to pull it out of him. We're like, no, how was this person? How was it working with this person? So he's just such a nice fun guy and very funny. So I'm looking forward to having him work with Beth and Mike to be a part of the show as well.
So this night of the 15th is kind of like a night of duets kind of thing with special guest. Yes.
Yeah. Oh. That was kind of the original plan. And then when Mike found out that Dave was going to be in town, he's like, "Oh, we got to have him in the show." So I was like, "Oh, absolutely." So yes, it'll be duo, trio, and then duo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
then Shmish Shmosh, so the actual deal with it is just that the one word thing, and then you guys just riff on it for 25 minutes is what I'm hearing.
Yep. Usually the first scene will be based off of that, and then after that, if we go into a brand new scene with different characters, we're just making all of that. We're just making it all up on the spot based off of nothing other than wherever our minds go. So yeah, it's it's fun. It definitely plays into both of our wheelhouses of just that kind of that borderline ADHD kind of entertainment where, so if one thing is, all right, we'll just move on to the next thing. If this is working, we don't got to remember a full through line. We can bring things back if we want. It's a very flexible art form that way.
I was like improv, basically the art form for ADHD. That's
yeah. Which again, you got to find what works for you.
I mean, you gotta work with what you got. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else have you got coming up this season? I know that you have a talent show coming up, a fundraiser talent show in December. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, we do fundraisers throughout the year through Sketch 22 with different organizations and charities. But this one is strictly a Schmitz and Giggles fundraiser that we do in December. So this will be December 13th, Friday, December 13th at 8:00 at Comedy Sports. And it'll just be like a talent show. It's going to be a whole lineup of singers, actors, stand-up comedy. And then we also have yo-yoing, which Ryan Dembeck is phenomenal. I've seen him do this before, and it's just amazing.
The fancy yo-yo.
Yes. He came in like third place in some kind like international competition. So
that would be funny if some guy just comes in with a yo-yo and just like sits there and does like plain old yo-yo.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected that because of the comedy. They were expecting just, okay, is this guy just going to come up? Is this a joke? And then when he started the act, everyone, it's amazing. It's amazing what he's able to do.
Does he do like multiple yo-yos and things?
Multiple yo-yos going over his head, behind the back. It's ridiculous. Very impressive. And I like it because it's something different because my circle is comedians and actors. And so to have something that's a little bit out there is very fun.
Very cool. Do you have any of your big projects coming up at all this year? Or is that like an every other year kind of thing, Romeo and Juliet kind of sorta, and those kinds of I would call those your big projects.
Yeah. I have a new show that I wrote called The Hitman. That'll be the first show that I'm actually going to be in. That'll be in February. That's going to run 2 weekends. Josh Decker will be directing that. I'll be in that with Chris Good, Rolly Cafaro, and Beth Lewinsky. That'll be in February. And then we are bringing Othello kind of sort of back to next act in August.
Awesome. Yeah. Your summertime work.
Yeah.
Kind of what that is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Combination of writing and improv projects, and sometimes a little bit in between. Like our Halloween show, it's improv, but it's also kind of like our characters are planned beforehand. So a little bit scenario based. So, yeah.
Yeah. You are one of the busiest people I know. You always have something going somehow, some way.
Being busy is the only way I can relax. 'Cause when I have nothing going on for like a week or two, I go crazy. I am always thinking, okay, what's the next thing? But I also allow myself to make sure I'm enjoying what I'm currently doing or enjoying what, I found myself at one point getting to that mentality where I wasn't enjoying the present and always looking to the future of what's going to be next, what's the next show. And I stopped myself from doing that. And I have a pretty good balance now of enjoying the present while focusing on the future and learning from the past.
Please teach me, wise man.
Yeah, and teaching too. I have a full-time teaching job at Brown Deer High School. So teaching theater and improv classes over there. We just finished our fall show. So that was a lot of work and a lot of fun. But now I have the rest of the school year to focus on other projects outside of that.
So your guys' home base, really your kind of home base is comedy sports. Yeah, outside of your work at like Next Act when you do the big shows or things like that, you would consider comedy sports your home base.
Yes, absolutely, and they're very good about being flexible with when we come in there. It's such an ideal space. Not only is the staff phenomenal, but like it's got parking, it's got a kitchen, it has the wait staff that comes in, and it's very, very financially doable. They're not out to take as much as they can from the little guy. They're very, very helpful in that way too. So
right on.
Love doing shows there. The Hitman to play in February will be at Milwaukee Brick House.
Yay!
I'm not sure where. Yeah. So I'm excited. It'll be the first time we're working with them. Amanda, I'm friends with her from back in the day, and so this will be the first time we're working over there.
Good people. Yeah. So if people want to find out more about Schmitz and Giggles, they can just go to schmitzandgiggles.org. Yes.
Yep.
And that's SCHMITZ with an N and then Giggles.
Yep.
.org.
.org.
And how much are tickets for your little thing there on? I shouldn't say
little thing. How dare you?
Not your little for your event on Friday. How much?
$10. Carter cash. Everything's at the door. We do pre-sale tickets for Sketch 22 now and our bigger shows, but we've just everything's pretty much at the door for the most part.
Right on.
So yeah.
Right on.
And we got t-shirts. We got Shmish Shmosh t-shirts.
I know, and I need a Shmish Shmosh t-shirt. Yes. I'm going to get one. I'm going to email you, and we're going to make it happen. I must have a shirt that says Shmish Shmosh.
I mean, it's a whole different avenue of having merchandise. Never gone down that road before, so it's very fun to kind of have that on the side. And we sold 22 shirts at our last show. It was the first show that we had shirts for. Because I wanted to wait till we've done a few shows to make sure it's a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get shirts, first, second, or even the third show. So, last show was the first time we had shirts, and we sold 23 of them. So, fun little thing on the side.
Awesome.
Whereas Sketch 22, you got to earn the shirts because we kind of treat them like karate belts with the more Sketch 22 events you do, the different colored shirts you get throughout until you work your way to the black belt, the black shirt for Sketch 22 when you do 22 of them. So.
How many people have black shirts?
15.
Oh, shit.
It's funny you asked that. I was just looking at that number today because I'm putting the writing groups together for January. So I was like, oh, here's the names of all the people who have gotten their black shirts up to this point. And now we have the black shirt with the alligator patch. So if you do 22 of them and you do a show in Florida,
right on,
then you get the alligator patch on the back. So the only two that have that currently are Tim Higgins and myself. So
of course, Higgins. Of course.
Classic Higgins.
Classic Higgins.
Get him back again this June or this next June when we go back. So
yay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, good kind sir, for carving out some time for me today. So yes, if you need some, everybody should need some Schmitz and Giggles in their life. But if you want a good laugh, head down to Comedy Sports this Friday. And did I say that was 8 p.m.?
Yep.
8 Friday. p.m. at Comedy Sports, Milwaukee. And thank you so much, kind sir. We'll have you back to talk about more things another time. But for today, have yourself a good evening, and we will talk later.
All right. Thank you, Jaimelyn. Have a good night.
Yes. I love that guy. He is one of the goodest, kindest, good humans you could ever want in your atmosphere, let me tell you. Yeah, but if that's their stuff is always really priced well within the margin of affordability, and so just if you want a good laugh, head down to Comedy Sports and watch some Schmitz and Giggles. But otherwise, we do have some other events coming up here this week that I would like to share with you. I'm just going to go ahead and wish a happy opening to Almost Maine over there at Next Act. We've been watching them, put up some stuff about their rehearsals and promo videos and stuff on their social media. You should follow everybody on social media. It's really a good way to see what's coming up next for people. We're all on it because we have to be. It's the way of the world. But this is going to open next week, Wednesday, November 20th, Almost Maine. This is directed by Karen Estrada, and it's a comedy. It's the thing about it is welcome to Almost Maine, a place that's so far north. It's almost in Canada. Not quite a town because its residents never got around to getting organized, so it almost doesn't exist. And there's falling in and out of love in unexpected and hilarious ways, and those kinds of things, and magic filling the air, and all those things that you like with a good comedy. So you can check that out over at Next Act, and that's just nextact.org. Next we have Clyde's over at Milwaukee Chamber Theater. They just opened this past weekend. It's going to be hard to get in to see the show, so if you want tickets, you better do it now, because I've just been seeing things that their shows are selling out, and it's really, really, really something that people want to see. So if you want to see it, go and get your tickets like now. This is by Lynn Nottage, and that's at the Studio Theater of the Broadway Theater Center from Milwaukee Chamber Theater, directed by DeMonte Henning. It was a 2022 Tony Award nominee for Best Play, so it's some good shit there. So you want to go over to Milwaukee Chamber Theatre. That's a theater with an R-E at the end.org to get your tickets for that show. So happy belated opening well, I said it last week, but whatever, opening. I say happy closing to this next group. This is Milwaukee Opera Theater. Joanna was on here last week talking about Alcina, is I believe how you pronounce that. That's their collaboration with Early Music Now. This opens and closes this week. It's November 12th through the 17th. I think there's 5 performances, if I recall that correctly. And you should get in there. I'm going to see it. I already have my ticket. Huzzah. And make sure you get your butt in there. Very, very, very clever people over there at Milwaukee Opera Theater, and something that you just won't see. Sort of fringe opera is the thing, and you just won't get a chance to see that everywhere. So you can go to MilwaukeeOperaTheatre.org to get tickets for that. Next we have it is Native American Heritage Month, to just get some knowledge in your brain about this. Is celebrated each year in November. It's a time to celebrate traditions, languages, and stories of Native Americans, Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian, and affiliated island communities, and ensure their rich histories and contributions continue to thrive with each passing generation. You can go to BIA.gov/NNAHM to find out more information about what all wraps into Native American Heritage Month. Just wanted to give that a little bit of recognition. And then also, last but not least, it's National Family Caregivers Month. Just to recognize the caregivers in your life. Families are often the primary source of support for older Americans and people with disabilities. I am one of them. My daughter is a disabled person, 22 years old, and she will require lifetime care. In America today, there are more than 53 million family caregivers that provide unpaid care, which is an economic value totaling more than $470 billion of unpaid care. So the caregivers in your life should be celebrated every day, but it's just a good time to really put special focus on those people in your life. And so always recognize your family caregivers and other caregivers in your life. But that is what we have today, my friends. Go and see the Schmitz and Giggles. Go and see other good, awesome Milwaukee theater in your life. And I hope to see you next week on another episode of You've Got a Thing. I think I'm going to try and get somebody from Milwaukee Chamber Theater in here to talk about Clyde's, because that's from what I know, it's on fire. So it'll be good to talk about it. So thank you so much for spending time, and we will see you next week on You've Got a Thing.